Andy. Perfect. So Andy, what do you think the value of the PMP exam, of the PMP designation is?
Yeah, we do got different view, based on people's experience. So it depends on your experience. For me personally, I got my PMP 1 year ago. Yeah, and as a newcomer in Canada, I found, yes, in a lot of job postings, the PMP is like mandatory. Yeah. But while when you apply for it, yeah, the employers still consider your relevant, especially Canadian working experience. Yeah, so it is great to have. Yeah, it's very useful. Yeah, but it alone won't contribute too much value for you. You still need a combination of relevant skills and knowledge. And we also had other members contributing that for them with Canadian relevant working experience, after getting the PMP, they actually got reached out by recruiters frequently, and it also gives them competitive advantage in negotiating the salary. Yes, so if you do have relevant experience, that will be a huge plus for you. Yeah, and apart from PMP, we also members in our group have different types of certificates. For me, like I have MBA. This one is useful. Yeah. Apart from the knowledge, the network you build is also very valuable. I also got a Lean Six Sigma. Yeah. So this one is applicable for almost all the area. Right now, I'm not doing a process-related job directly, but I'm applying it to improve the training process in our company. Yeah, we also got members had IJR certificate. Yeah, based on her experience, she never had the chance to apply it yet. Yeah, so that's pretty much from our team.
Okay, thank you very much, Andy. The next group, number 2. Arlie's group.
So that would be me that was chosen to speak. Okay,
so let me ask you, the PMP, is it important, and what else is important?
Well, in our group, I noticed not everyone had their PMP. So there was one specific person that had their PENG, which was related to the type of field they're in. So I would say it's not as important as having the job experience of being a project manager, but it is nice to have like anything else. So as an example, if you have experience in a specific field, but you don't have the bachelor's degree, like I would compare it to this as well. So if you have your PMP, it's great to have, but mostly I would say it's the project experience that you would need to be able to do a project manager position.
Very interesting. Yes, that project experience, so important. Thank you so much, Fari. Thank you. Now I'm going to go to group number 3 and Jeremy. Jeremy, is a PMP important? And if not, what else should you do?
So this is a very interesting question for me, for the simple reason that I am toiling away at the idea of taking my PMP examination in about 2 weeks' time, on top of everything else that I have going on. And I've been going back and forth, and just as I'm sure many people have before they took the test, of whether it is worth it. And that's really the question that we're asking. And our group seemed to settle on the idea that it is a key, right? And it unlocks doors. It is a prerequisite to enter into certain circles. It is a language that is understood by what is otherwise presumed to be the very best that an organization has to offer. Right? With that being said, that there are plenty of individuals with all of the skills, all of the talents, because quite frankly, they kind of tell you that project management is everywhere and it is in everything. That a mother cooking a meal is project management, right? That picking your kids up from school, that's scheduling. Right? Stakeholder interests, that's just running a household. Well, okay, none of those people have project management certification, nor do they spend thousands of dollars to do so. And they seem to take care of the job just fine, if not better than the absolute book carrying, cert codified and all that. I am unsure. And at the same time, I understand that for the places that you may and want to go and the circles that you want to, actually the oceans that you want to swim in, that there is a certain expectation that comes with it. And the PMP certification is that prerequisite that will otherwise allow you to play and make the significant affects on change that we so desire.
Well said. Well said. This brings me to group number 4. So, in which ocean do we want to swim in? Group number 4. Who's our spokesperson?
That would be Lan and Mario.
So I'll go first. Okay, so I'm the pessimist of the group as to why the PMP is a bad thing. And the first thing is, it's saturation. Too many people have a PMP, and they know how to study, which means all they do is get the PMP based on their study habits. They don't really have any experience. They just know how to study for the PMP and basically have a PMP. So that means that they just know how to rack up exams and degrees like MBAs and everything, and basically show up with a PMP. So that's basically my reason. And because of that, they have no background knowledge as a project management. They just know how to get an exam. So Lan's going to tell me the reasons why I should get a PMP and the positivity behind the PMP. Get away, Lan.
Okay, who is countering that? Thank you so much, Mario.
Good one.
That's Lan. Lan is countering it.
Yep.
Hi.
Yes. With Mario's points, yes, makes sense. We all agree that. However, PMP certification is really important, which to get PMP, you have to learn the basic skills required to do the proper job. And the PMP certification is universally recognized. So then, which means it's really important for us to work better, to do a better job. For companies who recognize that certified managers better at completing the project on time and within budget. So at this point, for this point, PMP certification is important. And at the same time, we have experience. Based on experience, we combine what we learned. We keep improving, keep learn, so we can do better job with a combination of background and PMP certificate. And also, it opens, it provides us more opportunities to increase our potential. We can, we can grow, we can learn, we can contribute to our company, right? That's what we think. Okay, that's what I thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Len. Good perspective as well. Yeah, what is that PMP and has it paid off? So my next group number 5.
That's mine. So Narges will be our presenter. We haven't discussed that, but
That's
she volunteered privately. So go, Narges.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster and fellow Toastmasters. We had a nice and great discussion with our group, Didier, Michelle, and Abel. And we all agree on that PMP designation and other kind of designation is a nice to have, as we can see in the job description, always is not the first thing they need, like the creator or even the employer. So especially here in Canada, we can see that it's really matters to have the certifications. When I came to Canada, I see I need to have my certification in PMP. Even I have more than 10 years experience in project management. As soon as I got my PMP, I reached out by a recruiter, and then I was shocked. I was shocked, but we all agreed that it doesn't give you the job. And so it just gives you the whole concept of the knowledge, and you need to be experienced. So the other, so for me, I started agile methodology in my last job, last year, and I have 1 year experience in that. And then I started to get more information about that, and then got my certificate in Agile. And now I'm interested in a Scrum Master, and I'm looking for any opportunity, and then get experience, and then get my certificate in a Scrum Master. And that's our discussion about that.
Wow, thank you so much. So it was certainly worth it. The next group number 6.
That's my group. I nominated Zenaida to present on behalf of us.
That's okay. Thank you, Melina. Thank you, Gabrielle. So we had an interesting discussion with our group that was composed by Melina, Thomas, and Niraj. We had interesting answers. For example, Niraj preferred PMI-ACP over PMP. One of the reasons of that is because the future, given the fact that it's AI coming, cloud computing, blockchain, those type of technologies requires or are going to with agile type of initiatives. In the case of Thomas, he was curious to listen to our thoughts because he's looking forward to get the certification, the PMP certification. Melina, as you know, she just got her PMP certification, so kudos for her. And in my case, I would say it paid off, the fact that I have my PMP, because that was one of the requirements to get that job that I have right now. Also, we all agree that between agile or traditional project management, it will depend. It will depend on the industry. It will depend on the type of projects, because in some cases agile are best suited for projects with a lot of uncertainty, or it is more suited when you can collocate your teams, or it is more suited when the customer doesn't know what they want. While it is not the case for traditional project management. So it will depend. The key is to understand the practices or the techniques from each methodology and decide which works best for your initiative that you're leading. And yeah, that's it. And also an important thought that we got from the team is, over the technical skills, it is more important the soft skills that you learn with experience. And that's it. That's what I can share with you.
Thank you
Back
so
to you,
much.
Gabrielle.
Wow, what a great panel. Let me ask you, any questions from the audience? Do you have for the panel? We said we would raise our hand. Do we have any hands up?
I have my hand up.
Okay.
I just wanted to say something to Mario about the certificate, about the PMP. You cannot just apply for the PMP. You need to follow, there are criteria, you need to meet the criteria, and you need to submit your experience in the hours and sit there and wait for 10 days in case you get audited.
if you get, and also you have to submit all your managers' phone numbers and contact information and the dates of your project. I know that some people can try to purchase the certificate online, but I don't see the point of doing it. It does help me a lot in my daily life. Even when I work with a lot of IT professionals, sometimes it's good to have the certificate to say that I know what I'm talking about. Otherwise, they won't listen to you. They won't pay attention to what you have to say. And it does help me. It gives me a leg up in terms of leadership when, you know, when I need people to just do what they need to do. So yeah, there's a lot of advantages to having the project management certificate, but I know that it's not for everyone.
Thank you so much, Pia.
You're welcome.
Do we have another question from the audience for the panel?
I don't have a question. I raised my hand, by the way, but I had another comment additional. But also, it's understand that the certification means. I mean, the certification, it means is that we have a common language. I mean, it doesn't mean that we're a good project manager or whatever certification it is. In this case, the designation it is. So I'm partially with this topic because it's also be a project manager. You need to be a person who have been involved in several projects. So you need to have experience before being a project manager or call yourself a project manager. Even though you get the certification, I know people that they're good with books and everything. Just Mario mentioned it. They also make these notes about because they qualify because they've been involved, but they didn't being a good project managers because of their experience, because they're lacking experience. But what it means that be a certified in something is that you have a common language. Someone will understand, and you will understand the same thing that people. And that's, I guess, is the main thing why we have this kind of certification. And well, that was the only comment that I want to mention. Thank you.
Very good point. Thank you. Thank you so much, Abel. Common language. Any other questions from the audience? To the panel, comments?
I can do the vote, the poll.
Sure.
Sorry, while we're doing the poll, if I may, I would like to ask a question as well.
Yeah.
This is my first time joining you guys, and I appreciate having this conversation, and I really enjoy talking to everybody. And the question that I really have is, how has PMP really helped your day-to-day activity other than just proving to other team members that you're worthy of being part of the team member, essentially? Apart from that, how has PMP helped you in your day-to-day activity?
So if I can go, this is Liban. I do have MBA, I do have PMP, and I recently got my Scrum. If I focus on the PMP, if I can build on Abel's words earlier, at the very minimum, having the foundation to know which process to use at which phase of the project. That is one thing I took away from.
But wouldn't you get that directly working in a particular project, regardless of the role that you've had?
You could, but it will take longer depending on how much exposure you're given.
Okay, that's fair.
I do
Jeremy,
agree
go ahead.
I do agree with Liban. It's giving you a framework. So with your PMP, you have a framework, and then you can pick and choose what you like, what you don't like. But at least you have some, a framework for more. And as Abel said, it's also helps you to discuss with other project managers. But the really good thing is you have a framework. You can implement.
The term that I used in our group meeting was, I believe that having these different certifications, different education, if I could frame myself as a handyman, it gave me different tools in my toolbox. So one day I could be doing call center analysis, trying to figure out why these calls are high, and that's a pure Lean Six Sigma. And then the next day I could be actually designing a project plan that actually helps the organization implement the recommendations that we're making. So I look at it, I mean, some people would say I will get it from experience, and that is valid. But I'm a textbook person. I'm more book smart than street smart, if you will.
There were two other hands up.
Jeremy had one, and Beatrice
And
had one.
Harry, I think, also.
Yeah, go ahead. Jeremy can go. Yeah.
First, let me say that I really appreciate the question, right? I had a question similar to it, and I couldn't figure out how to phrase it. So thank you for putting it together in such a way that would actually, first of all, render a discussion, and secondly, render a response from me, who hasn't even gotten his PMP quite yet. The reason why I say that is because what I've found is that it is a confidence booster as I start to have these conversations with hiring managers, execs, blah, 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 that I have a now newfound language of the PMPs. You're so amazing. And all that. And honestly, it works because now I feel like I belong somewhere, and they feel, they're like, oh, wait a minute, he sounds like he belongs at least somewhere here, right? So in that regards, I first appreciate the question. Secondly, thank you for garnering my response.
There's
Thanks,
another
Jeremy.
hand up. Let me ask you a question. Oh.
Beatrice had her hand up for a while.
Oh, yes.
Go ahead, Bia.
Oh, sorry, I lowered it, but I just wanted to say I do appreciate you saying that it's a framework, it's a start. It helps me a lot with planning and also keep track of what's going on. We haven't talked about our jobs, but I manage projects from all over Canada, and I work with cablers and electricians in French and English, and it's really hard to keep track of what's going on. So having that base to be able to plan and to track, it's very, very useful.
Thanks. Very good.
Madam Toastmaster, just a quick check on time. We are a couple of minutes behind, but.
Yeah, so I think we should wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. And I like to come now to, do we want to announce the winners from the table topics? And
yes, please.
Jane.
I'm gonna share this number with the group. Among all of us, there are 11 PMPs, and then there are 2 not PMPs, and then 5 are studying for the PMP, and 0 people not planning to study for PMP.
Interesting.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. So it might be somewhat of a biased discussion.
Mario hasn't convinced anyone.
I like to wrap this part of the meeting up because we still want to have our holiday cheer. And I know also Arlie wanted to say a few words, and then we also wanted to announce our winner for the table topics competition that we had earlier after breakout session number 1. Not competition, but voting.
Jane, would you do the honors?
Yeah.
Oh, I can do, yes. For the first table topic, drum roll, I have the winner. The winner goes to Thomas.
Yay! Yay!
Thank you very much, everyone.
Congratulations.
Yay!
The second table topic, drum roll, please. The winner goes to my group representative, Jeremy.
Yay. So this wraps up the last Toastmaster meeting from a Toastmasters perspective, and I like to pass it now to Arlie.